Lawmakers gather for another chaotic day at the Idaho Statehouse as frustration from protesters boils over. Hearings came to a standstill this afternoon as angry protesters led to an arrest and perhaps more than one arrest and a change of rooms. Lawmakers are there for a special session right now, looking at changing election laws to improve voting access in November. Reporter Madeline White joins us live outside the Idaho Statehouse, where there's a big police presence.
Roland, today was an absolutely eventful day at the Statehouse today. Literally just about 5 or 10 minutes ago, we saw famed protester Ammon Bundy being pulled into a police car. He's apparently in custody, and not only that, he seemed to be tied up to a chair with zip ties or something similar. We just saw that about 5 minutes ago, but take a look behind me at all of these police cars. Boise Police Department and Idaho State Police are staging in front of the Idaho State Capitol right now. And this comes after an eruption of angry protesters screaming in a House Judiciary Committee earlier this afternoon. And one of those people were arrested, according to the Idaho State Police, for trespassing. I'll have more on that in a minute, but Ada County Clerk Phil McGrain brought forward his idea of vote centers today in an effort to address two major problems in regards to the election and coronavirus.
As he told lawmakers in the House State Affairs Committee Tuesday, the first reason was to ensure safety for voters and poll workers.
There are 7 polling locations, all within like a little half mile of downtown Eagle. We could have consolidated those into one bigger space where we have social distancing.
And the second was to get enough poll workers to sign up.
What we were trying to do is adjust to those larger facilities throughout Ada County. So we've already mapped out like where the junior highs and the high school gyms are.
Andy says an added benefit would have been increased voter access to the polls.
But it specifically adds the flexibility for any voter to go to any polling location and vote,
allowing people to vote at any time in their workday.
It allows the people who live in McCall but work in Cascade to just go ahead and vote on a break or at their lunch while they're in Cascade,
instead of a rush of people at specific precincts causing lines and therefore safety issues at 5 or 6 p.m. And when it came to making a motion, the new concept was appealing to some lawmakers.
I would like to see this tried. It's in effect for one day and one election, and then it never comes back. And so it just seems like we ought to give it a chance.
But it made more of them nervous.
This is not the time to be having a trial or a test on a presidential election of this magnitude.
This flies in the face of everything we've been told about social distancing.
Democratic Representative John Gannon voting against it because he worries more people in bigger venue vote centers would instead become
Virus transmission centers.
Ultimately, a 10-5 vote shot the idea down.
We're going to have to adjust now, trying to maintain traditional polling sites, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I do expect we will change some precincts just because some of them just aren't adequate given the public health concerns.
But McGrain remains optimistic.
I think someday we will see this come to fruition. I recognize Representative Palmer said this may be a great idea in the future.
You can request an absentee ballot online at idahovotes.gov starting Wednesday.
As I mentioned, the House Judiciary Committee attempted to hold a meeting on the COVID-19 Liability Act, but it was disrupted. Ooh, we've got some thunder going on behind me, disrupting me. But that meeting was disrupted by angry protesters today who were screaming, and some of them refusing to get out of the press-designated seats. And as I mentioned, Idaho State Police have one person in custody for trespassing. Live in Boise, Madeline White, Idaho News 6.
All right, Madeline, we want you to be safe. Get in out of the rain. Thank you very much for that great report tonight.